Hey everybody, Hoosier Jedi here with another review for you. This time talking episode 9 of season 2 of The Flash called Running to Stand Still. For some reason. that title doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to me. So this is our Christmas episode. Uh, Once again, we have an evil speedster throwing out the words Merry Christmas, just in case somebody out there missed that. I have to say, I did like that though. That was a nice little parallel to last season. But anyway, so this episode, definitely some nice character moments, especially involving the West family. Some cute stuff with Caitlin and Jay, and we finally get to see a little bit more Zoom, which has definitely been overdue. But the main plot here with Weather Wizard trying to teaming up with the Trickster to kill the Flash. Yeah, this is pretty run of the mill stuff. I wasn't super impressed by that, but at the end of the day, that was just to give the Flash something to do. The real meat was the character stuff, especially with the West family. But let's kind of get that stuff out of the way, since hey, Mark Hamill's back, and oh yeah, he's got a movie coming out in about a week or so, a little more than a week. Might have heard of it, called Star Wars: The Force Awakens. I mean, he's not the star of the movie, but he's in it, and that's a big deal. So, um, this episode, the funny thing is though, the trickster on the show is kind of a riff on the way Hamill played him back on the '90s Flash TV show. It's not really super in tune with the trickster, kind of as he is in the comics. But that's fine. That's fine. I mean, Mark Hamill is the voice of what most people agree is probably the best version of the Joker ever. So you'd be kind of stupid to just not let him out there and just sort of run wild. Really take that take on the trickster and really soak up as much Joker as he can. And this is actually this episode really does remind me of an episode of Batman the Animated Series that involved the Joker hijacking the airwaves at Christmas time to terrorize Gotham City with his usual evil deeds. And yeah, I mean, like him drawing crazy pictures of the Flash on there, doing little cutouts. I mean that's all from the Joker playbook. And you know what? That's fine. Mark Hamill was phenomenal as the Joker. I mean, to me, that was always going to be what the Joker sounds like, or at least the modern Joker. The classic Silver Age Joker, that's totally Cesar Romero. I mean, nobody's ever going to top him for that interpretation of the Joker. And I definitely have to give some very, very high marks for Jack Nicholson's performance, but that kind of had some other issues. But whatever. Um, yeah, and it was just basically turn Mark Hamill loose and let him go crazy, which he's excellent at. And I love that bit at the end where after they capture the trickster, he's just like, "Oh God, that's so beautiful." It's just like, "Oh yes, of course, the trickster would say that." So he's just like this evil, sadistic guy, but he's also this really emotional guy, which is just so hilarious. And of course, it's probably not a coincidence that this interpretation of the weather wand looked more than a little bit like a lightsaber. Whenever Mark Hamill turns up in the show, I'm pretty sure they're going to go out of their way to work in a few Star Wars jokes. And let's give Hamill credit for being a real sport about that. He's definitely done more than his fair share of Star Wars related humor over the years. There was that really great one where he appeared on Family Guy. He did something similar on Freakazoid. Okay, but whatever. So, really nothing huge to say about Weather Wizard as a character. This was just a chance to sort of really show him off his powers and all of that, and sort of say, like, hey, Weather Wizard is a serious contender in the Flash's Rogues Gallery. Remember that. And I love that bit where they're going like, oh, he's using his powers to create thermal updrafts to fly, and Harrison Wells is just like, he can fly. Like, well, no, that's the actual scientific explanation for how Weather Wizard can do that. And then Harrison Wells is just like, yeah, he can fly, don't worry about it. Because we haven't really seen much in the way of flying metahumans. I mean, obviously Firestorm pretty much works on similar terms, but yeah. And that bit where the Flash runs across the helicopter blades, that's also straight out of the comics. Okay, stuff like that are why comics are cool. Now the whole thing with Patty wanting to kill Mardoon for having killed her dad. It's like, oh, I was a teenager. I blew it off to go hang out with my friend. Like, I mean, that's just like one of the oldest stock guilt reasons for feeling guilty in the world. It's just like, really, you did some basically normal thing that people do, and it basically led to somebody being in the wrong place at the wrong time, and you've been beating yourself. Like, okay, yes, that is totally human. People do that, but it's just like such a damn cliche. It's like, really, couldn't it just be that he killed your dad and that's enough? But all right, whatever. Okay, so despite some bumps in the road, at least Barry and Patty are still on good terms and still on kissing terms and such. And it was definitely rewarding to see the Flash be able to talk her down. It was also kind of fun to see Patty have to opening up to the Flash, and Barry just being like, obviously he can't say anything about all of this. I mean, that's just sort of the classic superhero dichotomy. So yeah, nothing really huge to say about Patty there. Although I did like that she thought to like bring something to take down the Flash just in case he tried to interfere. That's cool. That definitely shows some smarts on Patty's part, which was very nice. Let me see. Nothing really huge to say about Cisco, except he was seriously bringing the snark this episode, and I love how he was just like, "Jay, Caitlin, get a room. We all see it." And the whole attraction between Jay and Caitlin, I mean, it really genuinely culminates here. And they continue to be very cute together. Jay loves sort of messing around with her. It's like, what's Christmas? What's mistletoe? And just sort of poking or joking around with us and kind of giving us some reminders that, yeah, there are differences on Earth too, but it does share a lot of similarities. And that joke about how every Earth has the Godfather, that was hilarious. I was actually talking about that movie like literally just the other day. Like, yeah, Tuesday. Before this episode aired, Tuesday, I was actually talking with some people about The Godfather. It's like, wow, weird coincidence. Let me see. So that kind of covers them. Um, okay, so before we wrap up talking about that aspect, the whole thing with the presents, what a load of crap that was. Like how they solved that. I mean, this is one of those ones where like the show is saying like, look, we know this explanation is stupid. Don't we're not even going to try and come up with something believable. We know this is dumb. Don't worry about it. This isn't what you're here for. This is just wrapping up a plot device so the Flash can kick the bad guys' butts. So, yeah, that was dumb as hell, but, c'est la vie. So, let me see here. Oh, yeah, we might want to talk about that wacky West family. Now, what I really like about this family is that, yeah, sometimes there is conflict. I mean, that's just part of being a family. You're not always going to get along with everybody in your family. Sometimes they're going to do things that make you angry. They're going to make bad decisions. But here, Joe, when Iris comes clean, well, first she comes clean with Barry. It's like, okay, you've got this thing that's really been tearing you up, opening up to your sibling, perfectly reasonable thing. And Barry's like, okay, I understand why you did it, but we've got to tell Dad. I'm going to be there. I will totally support you on this. Awesome. Iris comes clean with her dad. And he's not angry at her. I mean, he gets why she didn't tell him this. He's just overwhelmed. He's just like, look, just give me some time to deal with this. Give me some time to process this. And again, this is how mature adults handle problems. And it's so nice to see a show where people, act like mature adults. They remember that even though that there's some situations going on here, they remember first and foremost that they love each other. And I love that story that Joe tells about the watch. And again, this is very reminiscent of the whole idea that Barry Allen is being always late, despite being the fastest man alive. And Joe giving him that watch at the end. It's another one of those like, oh, Jesse L. Martin, you're killing me. You're on fire, man. The feels. And that was just a nice thing for him to say. It's like, yeah, I found out that I have a son. I'm really torn up about not having been able to be a part of his life. But I was able to be a part of Barry's life. And for all intents and purposes, he's my son too. Stop and think about it for a minute. Barry Allen, the Flash. Got super speed, one of the best powers in the book. He's got these two guys, awesome guys, who he can both call his father. He's got some awesome friends. He's got, well, Iris is sort of a weird situation. He's got a cool girlfriend. Barry Allen is like the luckiest dude alive. Forget the fastest man alive. Why wouldn't we want to be Barry? Oh, and he could sing really well too. But yeah. And then Joe's son turns up at the door. Now, if you're a fan of the Flash comics, and I've been reading Flash comics for a very long time, alright? I've been reading those since I was a teenager. If you know your Flash history, you know somebody turning up at the door on Christmas, at Christmas time, is straight out of one of the most famous Flash stories out there, The Return of Barry Allen. And if you understand the significance of that story, yeah. That's a moment to take note of. If not, I'm not going to spoil anything for you. If you're really that crazy about it, go read it, or go read something online, or better yet, just go actually track down the comics. I'm pretty sure it's been collected. But yeah, this is a moment to keep your eye on. Oh, and gotta briefly talk about Captain Cold, and it's just like, oh hey, I'm not really a good person. I just don't want to feel like I owe you anything for saving my sister's life. Now, here's a heads up: a weather wizard and trickster are trying to kill you. I'm not actually going to help you any more than that. Bye. I have to go to get ready beyond Legends of Tomorrow. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, Zoom. Oh man, I love this motivation, and I love that scene where Harrison Wells is yelling. I'm like, "You're fattening him up like a Christmas goose." I'm like, Tom Cavanaugh, I know you love being on this show. I know you love being over the top, but damn, dude, here in this scene, you kind of need to dial it down, and Harrison Wells seriously needs to buy a comb, maybe 2 combs, some product maybe, because like his hair is just getting crazier and crazier. But the idea of like him fattening the Flash up, Zoom fattening the Flash up like a Christmas goose, I'm like, oh man, that's a great motivation. That makes perfect sense. And then of course he has to wave Jesse in front of Harrison Wells' face so he can like, okay, I'll help you take down the Flash when you're good and ready. I will betray the Flash to save my daughter. It's just like, which of course comes right on that where on the heels of that scene where Barry looks at him and he goes like, "Look, I know you're not the Harrison Wells that I knew, but I'm tired of holding on to my hatred for him. So I forgive you." So he forgives Eobard Thawne for murdering his mother, for doing all those terrible things, for endangering his friends, for everything. You see, that's one of the great things about Barry Allen is that forget about the super speed. The power that he has that is the greatest is the same power that Superman has. Is that they're both at their hearts fundamentally good people. It's the same that how Wonder Woman's greatest power is her ability not to fly or punch walls or anything. It's that she has an immense ability to show love and compassion towards other people. I mean, all that other stuff, shooting lasers out of your eyes, being able to fly, that's all for fun. What really makes people heroes, what really makes people super, is our ability to show the best emotions that people are capable of. Love, forgiveness, kindness, understanding, even to people who have done us terrible wrong. Here, Barry forgives the man who murdered his mother. Jesse isn't... Joe, when he finds out his daughter's kept this really important secret from him, he's not angry with her. He understands why she did it. I mean, there's not a harsh word spoken in that whole situation. And the really amazing thing about this whole thing is that this is something that comes from that is capable that we're all capable of. It's not always easy. It's not always easy to show kindness to people. It's definitely not easy to show forgiveness towards people who have done us wrong. To give other people second chances. And yet, even if we do this and it blows up in our faces, we're not lesser people for having tried. We're better people for having tried. We're lesser people when we give up on other people. And this is why kind of in like the Blackest Night storyline, where Barry Allen was chosen to be a temporary Blue Lantern. And Blue Lanterns, their whole thing is that they're about hope. Their power is based on the ability to inspire hope in others. And it is that goodness, that hope, that Barry can inspire, that we see in him. That's why he's really a cut above so many other characters in comics. And all he has to do is go out there and simply be a good and decent guy. Going out there and being a good and decent person. Most of us, we like to think that we try and do that every day. But if we're honest with ourselves, we fall down on that one a lot, and that's okay. But that we keep trying, that we don't let our failures, that we don't let the harsh realities of the world wear us down and turn us into callous and uncaring people. That's when we're most like superheroes, I think. Because we can never fly, shoot lasers out of our eyes, or have a canary cry or whatever. But it's like this thing I read that the Dalai Lama said. And he said, if you have time, be kind. There is always time. And here, it's Christmas time. You can sort of see my Christmas tree back there on my table. Not very big, not lit up at the moment. And this is that time of year, the holidays, when we really are reminded to take a moment and think back about how we can let those emotions flow from us. Show compassion, kindness, forgiveness towards other people. Now, sure, we should try and do that every day, but life's tough. That's why that's sort of the reminder of that peace on earth, goodwill towards men, that is so important, such an important part of the holidays. I think is so important. We do, as humans, need that reminder. And hey, we don't have somebody around like the Flash out there committing amazing acts, fighting bad guys in the middle of the city. We just have ordinary people going out there and trying to do good every day. And that's still pretty darn amazing. And hey, those superheroes, well, their adventures are available to us fresh and new every single Wednesday at the comic book shop. Anyway, I think I've rambled and preached enough for one night. So I'm going to call it here, guys. As always, please comment, rate, and subscribe. And of course, you can follow me on Twitter at Hoosier Jedi. Until next time, take care and have a good one.